Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching my videos. My name is DaVinci Jeremy. I'm in the 5x5, staying alive here in Malta. I'm here at the AIBC event. Like I've said, I've been telling you I've been coming to for the last little while, and I hope I'll see you here around at the event. Wow, the weekend, the last few weeks has been incredible. Bitcoin has collapsed, as you know, and a lot of things has happened in FTX, right? We found out a lot of things, right? We found out that the staff was heavily abused and used to actually fund the company. I've read where a document where, hey, you know what? They were asking employees to invest, right? That they would instantly see like double their money instantly, and then 4 to 5x a year from now. Now, I want you guys to all know, whenever somebody comes to you and promises you a high return, run. Just run. Whether it's internal, whether you trust that person or not, just run. Just say, no, thanks, but no thanks, right? And it's sad. It is possible to make a high return. Yes, it is. Just never let somebody promise. If I promise you, if somebody else promises you, if anyone promises you a high return, promises, right? That's the key word, promises. Then, yeah, run the other way, right? It is possible to make high returns. It's just, don't expect it to be the norm. Don't expect it to be something that you can actually get, right? Because honestly, it is not. It's not always. This is not something that's possible for everyone to get. Because then, if it was, everybody would get it. Okay. With that said, right? Try not to be greedy, right? In this market, the easiest thing for you to do. The most easiest thing for you to do is like, I heard a story of a kid, right? He found out about Bitcoin back in 2011 and told his friend and said, listen, I'm not going to go out. I'm not going to party. I'm not going to buy popcorn. I'm not going to go movies. I'm just going to keep buying Bitcoin, right? When he was 14 years old. And his other friend's like, whatever, dude, you're crazy. And he just kept buying and buying and buying and buying, 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 buying. And he kept buying all the way up into the 2017 run-up. And then he called his friend and said, dude, I made it. That's all it takes for you guys, right? All it takes is just right now, ignore the noise, learn how to take possession of your Bitcoin. It's real easy. It's really easy. First, create a wallet on a phone. And you can see, I'll put links in the description on how to create some wallets. So the BitPay wallet. And I'll probably do some more videos about that because BitPay has been upgraded, and use that. Now, some of you want to trade. Yes, that's fine. You want to trade. You want to be able to trade. Well, you know what? I'm not discontinuing Pandora's wallet. In fact, I'm going to increase the development of it because with this collapse, I see the immediate need to come up with a solution for this right away that allows people to avoid this problem. So I will be continuing the development of Pandora's wallet so that this kind of thing just doesn't happen, right? Because it's horrible. Yes, this is a terrible thing that happened to the crypto space. It's incredible how he's gotten away with it, that he's not in jail, he's not in bars right now, that people have not hunted him down and put him in bars. But this is the system we live in, right? Every single one of your banks are like FTX. Every single one. Do not say yours is different. Do not. Every single one went from 10% reserves to 0 starting in March of 2020. Get that through your skull. They are broke. The only thing that keeps them alive is the Federal Reserve, right? The central bank. Whether it's your central bank in your country, it's keeping your banks alive. And that's it. There's nothing else. They have no money, and they will continue to have no money because our financial system has come to an end, right? Because it requires more and more debt in the system, right? And you know what happens when you have why can't a Ponzi scheme work? Why does it not work? What is a Ponzi scheme? Well, because it requires more and more people to come in that in order to pay the interest on the people who you promised in the first place, right? You're basically promising like 13%, some sort of high interest rate, and you just lock in your money. Here, give me your money, lock it in here, right? I'm gonna make you some interest, right? You can open it up after 1 year lock, right? But I'm not making any interest for you. All I'm doing is taking your locked money and paying out the interest to everybody with those locked funds, right? So eventually it runs out of people that can actually, invest in this scam, right? Well, the same applies with our debt-based monetary system. It requires a larger and larger amount of debt, right? So if it requires a larger and larger amount of debt, just like in the other scam, the Ponzi scam, it means that eventually you're going to run out of people that can go into a large amounts of debt. Right? Because it goes on an exponential scale. It goes up, 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 up. So we're near at the end of this exponential scale. Right? So that's why the banks are all gone. Right? They're just zombies right now. That's all they are. And so once they can't hide that anymore, that's the end of our financial system. So this is why it's best to take all your cash, because this is why they try to get rid of cash, because they want you trapped inside the banking system when they collapse. Because if you're trapped inside the bank, well, then they get all the money, right? And you heard about bail-ins, right? I'm sure you have, right? Because I've said it many times. So they want to use your money to bail themselves out of the crime that they've done, just like FTX. So FTX just did nothing. This is a standard industry practice. So, yeah, they're doing this to you with your cash, right? So for now, you can withdraw your cash. But eventually, that's not going to happen, right? They're going to stop. There's going to be a bank holiday. Some banks will close, right, permanently, right? And yes, your insurance will kick in, but it'll take a long time before you get it. Because, of course, there's going to be a lot of paperwork, a lot of studying, making sure you got the money. Just like an empty gox, right? I mean, it takes for a while, right? And, oh, wait a minute. People still haven't gotten their money back from empty gox. So expect something like that once your bank closes. So that's why I suggest you guys take money out. Now, I'm real sorry for all those people who lost money in FTX. It's a horrible situation. And there's a lot of people out there who, lost everything, lost they have kids, they have wife, and they can't do anything. They feel like they've worked so hard, and it's all gone. And you know what? It sucks. It is horrible, but life will go on. You will be able to make the money back. It is just numbers, and you will be able to get back to something big, because many people have started with zero and built up stronger. Now that you've learned a huge, huge lesson, right? Huge lesson. Please don't let the banking system teach it to you again. That's it. Learn how to avoid them. Learn how to take possession of your assets. It is worth every minute of the work that's required to study how to manage your own money, right? With crypto. It is worth every minute of your time to understand everything you need to understand. Do not be afraid of it. It is now your turn to learn and to actually get better at identifying scams and avoiding them. And so, yeah, I wish I had did some studying on FTX. All it required was this much of studying. I could have called that a lot earlier. That's all it required. I mean, when you look at it, right? I mean, you could have spent a whole 5 minutes probably looking into FTX and finding out videos about the CEO and learning what he's about. And I mean, you wouldn't have to like go directly to him. It's just, there's so much evidence right after the fact. And no, it's easier to say after the fact, but if you just looked at it, you'd be like, yeah, something ain't right there. Yeah, I don't trust this guy. So, yeah, I think when you do decide on moving to an exchange, do a little bit of research on the people that's involved. Find out who they are. Find out what they're talking about. If they're talking about their family, they're talking about their kids, they're talking about, how great of a person they are, run. That's not a good sign, right? If they're talking about the technology, if they're talking about what they do in order to secure their customer funds, right? Then that's a good sign, right? They're not your friends. Don't treat them like your friends. If they start acting like friendly to you, and whether it's friendly on the camera or friendly in the sense that, oh yeah, I want you to like me, that's usually a sign of a psychopath trying to scam you, right? So yeah, look for those kinds of signs. Okay. With that said, Bitcoin is not dead. Bitcoin will be hurt for a while, but this means you get to buy Bitcoin and Ethereum for a low price for a very long time. So now's the time to earn cash, earn money, earn wealth, and buy up Bitcoin and just accumulate and put away. Right? And use tools in order to earn more Bitcoin wherever you can. Learn the little lady strategy and try and use that. Wherever, trade Bitcoin during the day, learn how to trade and use that to earn Bitcoin. Do whatever you can to get as much Bitcoin as you can in the next little while, because this is where it's at. This is the beginning of you getting into the point where you have wealth that allows you to retire and not have to worry about it ever again. This is your chance. This is your Bitcoin at the dollar moment kind of deal. This is it. Ignore the noise. Doesn't matter how much lower it goes. You just quietly keep buying. This is a low price as it is. We're near a bottom near bottom, so you can easily say, okay, well, you know what? I'm buying this dip. I'm buying these lows. I'm buying them. Even though, yeah, it could go lower. It doesn't matter, because overall, it's going to go a lot higher very fast when it hits the bottom and it turns around. Now, I really think, when do I think this is going to turn around? Because that's what you're really going to ask. In my opinion, we should see the turnaround start around February, March timeframe. We'll start seeing signs of green shoots, Bitcoin reversing, and the reverse will be even harder and faster if the Federal Reserve reverses its course on the interest rates and they drop down to zero really quickly, because they will have to, because the market will get killed. This event of market crash will probably not occur until a year from now, because, as you know, when we print money, it takes 12 to 18 months for it to affect the market, right? And that's what they did in 2020, and 12 to 18 months later, it had an effect. And they called it transitory. Yeah. And then, so when they're doing the opposite, we're draining out liquidity, it takes the same amount of time the opposite direction as well. So with that said, you can predict, right, with some accuracy, that since they started this journey of higher interest rates, you know that this will have an effect in 12 to 18 months from when they started. And it will continue to do so well after they realize they need to reverse. So Look for huge market turmoil in the coming year for 2023. This means there's lots of opportunity. So make sure that you're well positioned to gain that opportunity. Right? Whether it is to buy alts, trade the stock market, or trade the crypto market, you will be able to do. There will be plenty of opportunities to recapture your wealth in the coming years. So do not despair if you've lost everything on FTX. It will come back to you. You deserve it, and you will get it back, and you'll forget this episode of your life. Well, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. No trading today. I wanted to keep this about FTX and what's going on, and hopefully I've given you guys some confidence in the market. I know I've been there, right? I've suffered through massive downturn from I'm buying it at $1, watching it move up to $32, and buying it back down at $2. That hurt a lot, but I knew it was still going to do well. So no matter where it goes, right, just keep holding and keep buying, and you will be successful. Thanks for watching.